Before this video starts, if you guys are not yet already in my Discord server, I do highly recommend you come over and join. We are so close to 100,000 members. Right now we are at 80,000. And if all of you from this video, you know, my community, join, we can actually build something pretty good here. My goal actually is to hit 100,000 members before the end of the year. You know, we have giveaways in here, general chat, self-promotion. You guys can come here, promote yourself, and grow as one. I will leave the link in the description. Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how you can actually lower your ping and kind of get 0 ping within Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 5. Now you guys have told me my intros are too long, so we are going to get straight into this. But before we do that, if you do enjoy the video, all I ask in return for you guys is for you to drop a like on the video for me. It takes 2 seconds, you know, these videos take hours to make, and it's super simple and really does support the channel. You can also go the extra mile and subscribe to me if you really want to. You can also put notifications on so you never miss an upload just like this. It really does support the channel in the best way possible. It helps me keep making content, keep growing, and just chasing my dreams. So yeah, it's all I ask you to do. You know, you don't have to do it. In no way am I pressuring you, but it's free. It really does help me as a creator. It lets you do something good for me, and also as I'm doing something good for you in providing this video, it's kind of like a thank you. But again, you don't have to sub. So we are just going to get straight into this, and how I'm going to layer this video. Kinda what I'm going to do is show you some in-game, so things you can do actually on Fortnite itself to lower ping. I'll show you like 2 to 3 things you can do really easily on your actual game. Then we're going to move to more system-wide optimizations, things you can do on Windows. And then finally, at the end of the video, the grand finale, I'm going to be showing you an application, a literal software, which can lower your ping. And trust me, you want to stick to the end for that. And now first of all, with the Fortnite tips, the first tip I'm going to give you, in your settings here, you go to game settings, and your language and region, what you want to do or make sure you are doing. Some of you may know this already, but what you're going to do is your matchmaking region, have this set to your actual region and not on auto. So you can actually have it set to auto. This is also auto for Fortnite. This is like native, and your game will probably be set to this. If you've never changed it, it's going to be on auto. You do not want it set to this, no matter if this says 15 ms, so technically 15 ping, and also your actual server. So mine's Europe, mine also says 15 here. That does not matter. It's more like a visual thing. This really isn't true to figure, because if you are connecting to auto servers or have it on auto, it can short and simple basically connect you to any sub server at all, and that is not good. What you want to be doing is connecting to the closest sub server, and having it set to Europe will help the game kind of do that, if that makes sense. It's super simple stuff. Basically just have it set to your actual region. So if you're NA East, have it set to NA East instead of having it set to auto, and that will help you connect to the closest server to you, and that should then give you hopefully a lower ping or a more stable ping or more consistent ping in the games you are playing, because you're not connecting to different sub-servers every single game. And now moving on to my next tip, and actually the next 2 tips I'm going to show you are only going to be for you creative guys. So people that want to have just better ping in creative mode, this will not work for Battle Royale, but I guess I'm going to keep this quick, so just I'll quickly get through this right here. But when you're on this screen right here, selecting your game mode, if you want to play creative, don't load into Battle Royale first. Just go right to where it says creative and just press play. This will load you directly into creative mode, which is better for the game. Like, you'll still get this screen here, you'll still have to press launch, but it sets your game mode directly to creative right here in the bottom. It does not load pubs. You'll also notice that you matchmake into creative a lot faster. I don't know how it works, but what it does, it just connects you to a better server almost. It doesn't load the entirety of Battle Royale, and this in turn should give you better ping. As you can see at the top right here, I'll get my editor to zoom in. I'm on 0 ping. It generally works, and I'm not just saying this. Also, now when you are in creative, maybe you wish to free build, warm up, practice, you know, whatever you want to do within creative mode, I highly recommend you guys to use an optimized 1v1 map. Now, I haven't got one loaded here or actually on deck. Like, I don't have a code for them right now, but I will put some in the description, because a lot of creators actually make low ping 1v1 maps kinda. So if you're literally to go on YouTube and search up something like the best 1v1 map for 0 ping, I can guarantee you will find a map which is low ping and low resource, and you can come over to a portal like this, go to the console and just put the code in here, load into it, and you'll probably get better ping just by doing this rather than playing your traditional maybe like BHE 1v1 map to build. Or alternatively, what I'd personally do is actually create your own map. So right here, instead of using a community map or opening up a portal, you have your own little map here which you can create. You know, you can go here, you can select islands, you can create new maps with literally nothing on. I recommend you do a flat map, so something which is just straight flat. I think for example this map right here, yeah, grid island, it's just a flat like grid square island. There's nothing on here. This is probably the best. Like, if I actually go into this here, grid island, I confirm it, I'm gonna load one right here. Like, it's literally this easy, but I'm gonna load into this here, and I'm gonna show you, it is literally, I mean, when it loads, it's just a huge flat grid. There is nothing on here, and if I make my HUD scale bigger at the top, you can see memory used. I have literally 2 memory used. That is it. 2 memory. And as you can see, my ping is also 0 right now because this thing is so good. Basically what it does, the lower your memory is on a map, like you can literally leave it as this. You can maybe put in like, I don't know, a chest with a weapon in, or like a grappler or an item spawner, or literally don't use any weapon at all and just use your mats. So just at the least ensure that you've set all these settings up so you have unlimited mats. And then what you can do is just start the game. Of course, you probably want to set it up more than I did. I literally changed nothing, but you'd probably want to set a spawn as well so you spawn on the ground. But you'd come down onto your map where you're going to free build, and yeah, you'll just free build with basically nothing because it's better for your ping. Like, it's literally that simple. Like, I don't know, my game is feeling like a whole lot better when I'm doing this. As you can see, I'm on like a consistent 0 ping once again. Like, this most definitely isn't placebo. Like, there really is a difference in my editing speed. Like, it's really good. And now moving on to some more internal stuff you can actually do within Windows. So now the system-wide optimizations I spoke about. And don't forget, watch till the end. I'm still going to show you this amazing application I can highly recommend. So make sure you watch to that. But quickly running through these are really beneficial optimizations. I don't think anyone actually covers them. I was like the first to cover all of these. So I'm just kind of bringing them back up again because you really need to do this. It will make a huge difference. And now as you can see, I'm over on my desktop here. And the first thing I'm going to show you guys is something you may or may not already know. And I'm sure if you know it, you are very guilty for not keeping this up to date, or in better words, just not using it as much as you should. And that's going to be this little bad boy down here on my taskbar, the little blue M logo. I'm going to load it up here. It's called Malwarebytes. Now I've got the premium trial. You can just keep renewing your trial. You don't actually have to pay for this thing. I don't recommend you guys pay for this thing. You know, actually it's really cheap. I'm not sure on the price to this thing, but I think it's like $3 a month. So it's super cheap, but I'm not sponsored by these in any way. I just generally use the software, so I'm not going to promote sales or anything like that. I guess buy it if you want, but you can just keep renewing your trial. That's what I do. I've got 13 days left. The second this thing runs out, I'm just going to reinstall it and I can just use it again and again. But this thing is super helpful. And now you may be thinking, how is this helpful? Like, I just don't get it, bro. This is a virus detection software. And that right there, the fact it's a virus detection software is exactly why it's super good. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that now. Short and simple, as it's a virus removal software, which can remove literally any hidden viruses on your PC. What that can do is remove viruses which could potentially be hiring your ping. Yes, there are viruses which literally just raise your ping because they use internet and bandwidth, and yeah, that isn't good at all. And to be more specific, the actual virus or particular virus I'm talking about are called PUPs, which is shorthand for potentially unwanted program. Now what these are, despite being outside of internet factors, actually unharmful to your computer, they are literally, just as the name states, unwanted programs or little resources almost just on your PC which sit there, can be downloaded or picked up with anything you download, no matter how safe they are, and they just run in the background process of your PC. They eat away at your bandwidth, and basically that affects your ping, and the more of them you have, the worse it is for you. Now to get rid of them, it's kind of self-explanatory. You want to download Malwarebytes. I'll put a link probably in the description so you can get this, but either way you can just search in Google like Malwarebytes download and you will find it like pretty easily. You want to start a trial, it's as simple as just downloading it, and you'll probably get this exact screen right here. You then want to just press scan. It should be in the middle of your page, and it's then going to run a scan. It should take about like roughly 15 minutes, and you can ensure that this will completely scan the entire back end of your system, you know, every nook and cranny, and find out all of these PUPs causing you problems. Once the scan is complete, the software will automatically remove anything found, and you should be all good to go. Now I don't think I'm going to sit here and run this entire test or scan right here, but as you can see, it's nearly finished, and I've already done this yesterday. Like, you will need to keep up to date on this. I highly recommend you do this like 2 times a month just to keep on top of things. It's mainly dependent on you as a user, like how much you're downloading, how much you're browsing the web and stuff like that. But I recommend at least running this bi-weekly just to ensure you're staying on top of these things and you get no PUPs whatsoever. And now swiftly moving on, I'm going to get quickly through this and then we'll get to the software I'm going to talk about. But the final internal Windows optimization I'm going to be showing and telling you guys about is ensuring you are connected to the most optimal or best DNS server. Now, a lot of you guys are probably very much confused, but there's basically 2 DNSs you can connect to with Windows. That is Cloudflare's DNS and Google's DNS. So literally Google has a DNS and Cloudflare, I don't even know what it is. I think it's an internet provider. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I don't even know. It's a service provider, something like that. But you will know what Google is. Google for most of you guys will be the best, but it's about almost diagnosing that and finding what works best for you. Now to do this, you want to be on your desktop, of course. You want to right click almost like in the bottom where your internet thing is. So mine says network 2, it shows like an Ethernet port. You should see like a little Wi-Fi symbol if you don't have an Ethernet cable. And if you don't have an Ethernet cable, get one, because if you don't have an Ethernet cable and you're watching this video like complaining that you have high ping, that's probably the reason. I can't lie. But let's assume you have an Ethernet little symbol in the bottom of your desktop. You want to right click that, go to open network and internet settings. When you're here, you want to find network and sharing center, click on this. You should see connections, Ethernet. This may be something different for you if you again don't have an Ethernet, but I have an Ethernet, so I'm going to click onto this. Either way, you're going to have to click onto it, but then you want to go properties, and when you are here, you want to look for internet protocol version 4, so IPv4, this one right here. You're gonna press properties, and now this is where you're going to do the good stuff and connect yourself to the preferred DNS. But before we can do that, we can't just jump into things like this right here. I think this is Google's DNS, this is best for me, but we have to find what works best. It's different for everyone, different for your internet. So what you want to do is go down here, type in CMD, command prompt should come up. You want to right click it, press run as administrator, and this should black out my screen right here. It should come back in a second. There we go. And now we're all at this stage. What you want to do is now test both DNS servers. Now the first one we're going to do is Google's public DNS. So what you want to do for this is type ping 8.8.8.8, so 4 8s with points in between them. You can see it on the screen anyway. You then want to press enter like so, and then it's going to run a test for this basically for each DNS. So this is Google's DNS. There are 2 sets of commands you need to put in to like test the entirety of that DNS server technically. So now after this we have to do ping 8.8.4.4 like so, then press enter again, and now once this is ran, as you can see, it will give us some ping statistics. Now this right here is basically Google's DNS. So first of all, we're going to take a good look at this at the bottom. So what we're going to do is compare the minimum, average, and maximum ping for both of these sets of commands and results we just got. So as you can see here, my minimum ping is about 13. Up here it's telling me I have 24 and 18 on this one. So we're just going to almost average it out and find a middle to that. So let's say about 21. I know that's not exact, but let's say we've got 21 maximum ping and our average ping is roughly 15. And now we know that, what we want to do is now compare it to Cloudflare's public DNS. So what we're going to do to test that is ping.1.1.1, press enter. This is now going to run here. After this, we want to type ping 1.0.0.1. Sorry, I can't really get my words out here, but we're going to run that. We're going to compare both of them. So they both again come in 2 sets. So we're going to average it out. And as I said here, so this is about 15. We've got 21 maximum and 13 minimum. And then on Cloudflare's, we've got 11 minimum. So actually better minimum ping. Our maximum here is about, let's say 17. Yeah, I'd say 17, which once again, in this case is actually lower than Google's this time, which is actually surprising me myself. I probably should update this a little bit more, and my average, it's actually less than Google. So what I actually have to do myself is switch this, because I actually did get new internet, and since I got new internet, I didn't actually change this, so I should probably do that. And this is actually a better scenario now, because now I can do it with you guys. So assuming you found now which is the best one, which has the lowest, like altogether, like the lowest average pings, so you kind of find an average for both 2 sets per DNS server, if that makes sense. So mine it's kind of simple, it's common sense almost, but mine right here was Cloudflare's. So what I want to do now is, if yours is Google's, you want to type exactly this into this box here. So you want to have your obtain an IP address automatically. So literally just this screen right here, this little box, this window I'm moving, you want to copy this exactly right here. Just copy these values if you have Google, and for me, as I have to change it, I'm going to have to put right here 1.1.1.1 and then 1. I can actually just take away this whole thing here. There we go. We're gonna do 1 space 0 space 0 space 1, and now that is me now. It's that simple. Now I'm literally on Cloudflare's DNS. I'm gonna press OK, and that's it. I'm now connected to an optimized DNS server, which will now give me better ping. And now finally, last but not least, the application I'm going to be showing in this video is going to be NoPing. Now, I know I mentioned it in a video a while ago, but trust me, there is a reason I'm mentioning this again, because it's just too good. I use this myself every time I'm playing the game, and it really does help both my performance, because this can boost FPS. They do have an on software literal switch, like a button you press, which can help boost your game's performance when you run it. But most importantly, what this application does is it completely optimizes data routing to your internet connection by directly mapping out the best server routes for your game. So now putting this into an example here, let's say you play in the EU region, European Fortnite servers, yet you live somewhere in Denmark maybe, and play with your game's matchmaking region set to either auto, or even in this case set directly to Europe, as I've already mentioned you should do, you know, ensure that your region is set directly to, like, actually the region you're going to be playing on, you know, to cut out the issue of connecting to different subservers that you shouldn't. But even doing that, sometimes your game will still force you to connect to a subserver further than it should be doing, which then gives you higher ping. Now what NoPing will actually then do is it will find the unstable route and help your game and connection redirects itself to the closest subserver when you are to matchmake, which of course lowers your ping, the whole point of this. And now if that doesn't sound good enough, let me show you how truly easy this is. Literally all you need to do is go to the link at the top of the description. I'll link it right down below. It should be this link right here, NoPing/Fxtch. That's my old YouTube channel name. But you want to use this link because this will save you money in the long run. That's the reason I actually urge you to use this over just going onto the website. But when you're on here, you want to download NoPing. Like you literally right here, you just click download. I'm going to download this with you guys right now, but I'm going to download it right to my downloads. NoPing app, super simple. Now when it's downloaded, I'm going to open this up. It's probably going to black out my screen once again. Kind of annoying when that happens, but it's going to come back. There we go. Now it's installing. This should literally take less than 5 minutes. I'm going to like keep this recording here so you can see in real time how long this is going to take. It's probably system dependent, but I'm gathering some required information. 16 seconds, 9 seconds, 11 seconds, 0 seconds. There we go. Is it done? Bang, I think it's done. Now it's went off my screen. It should actually open up automatically here, but mine didn't. So I actually created a desktop shortcut or icon. What you want to do is literally just double click this. It's going to black on my screen. I don't know why it does this. It's because I'm running as administrator, but there we go. We've got it open. Now this is going to run. Super simple stuff. This is just loading the application itself. You will need to do this every time you want to use it and you're playing your game. This will run in the background. Don't worry, it doesn't use many resources, much memory or CPU usage. So having this on in the background, you can minimize it down to your display tray down here and it won't affect your performance, so it's not an issue. Now once the application loads, you'll be prompted with this. You'll have to actually log in or create an account. Now what I recommend is you don't register right here or even use this test it for free button, because in some cases that can bug the application and it won't work correctly. So what you actually want to do is on the same link in the description where you actually downloaded this, you won't actually create a link there, so just go back to the description, go right here, you want to press login. But when you do this, you can basically just create an account. All you need is a name and an email and then you're set to go. Once you create your account, you just log in here, and assuming you're all at the same stage, what you want to do is straight away go to your settings. Once you're here, you want to actually enable this boost FPS, so I've just enabled it. As well as this, I recommend you also turn on turbo gains, which as it says, this function improves the keyboard response time, which is also crazy. That's like basically reducing your input lag and FPS all in one, as well as ping, which I'm about to show you. But you want to turn on this. I also recommend you run no ping at startup, so it's always running with your PC. It's probably the best. You don't have to have this on, but it uses like no resources or memory, stuff like that, so I do recommend you have this on. And also minimize to system tray, which means basically when you want to close this thing, it will go down here into your system tray, as you can see, and it'll just run in the background. You won't have to worry about it being on your desktop or being in the way. It's just basically down here out of the way. If you want to click it again, you just right click it, show, and it will come back up. But let's say the game is Fortnite, you want to optimize to get better ping, you just search in Fortnite, and now what you're going to do is go to whatever your region or I guess yeah, region would be. So let's say you are United States, you live in the US. I think a lot of you guys on this video will be. What you want to do is just select the server with the lowest ping. So for me, for whatever reason, I don't live in the US, but I could get the best ping to this sub server right here, the Washington 1 server. So if I was connecting to this right here, I could literally play NA East and get the best ping. Whereas if I was connected directly to San Jose, I think that's how you say that, but if I connected here, I'd basically get 150 ping, whereas that isn't as good obviously as 89. And this is also a great example of what Fortnite does. Now Fortnite, if you're not using this, will be connecting you potentially to San Jose or me to San Jose, where I'll be getting 150 ping, when realistically I should be connected to this one right here, which Fortnite won't be able to do unless I've got this application downloaded and I'm using this. But simply select the server with the lowest ping, then you want to press optimize this game, so right here, and then now when it says disconnect right here, you are connected. That is it. You can now minimize this, open up your game, and when matchmaking going into game, you should now have better ping. And with that all being said, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. If you got to this point in the video, you know it did help in any way, shape or form, the least you can do for me is drop a like if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, post notifications turned on so you never miss an upload on the channel. I hope everyone has an amazing day. It's been your boy Fxtch, and yeah, peace.